Hi everybody, Editor Donald here. Before we get started with today's episode, we wanted to give a big spoiler warning regarding the film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings from Marvel Studios. We're going to be going over everything involving this film. If you have not watched it yet, we highly recommend to pause this film right now, go down to your local theaters, buy a ticket, sit down by yourself or with some loved ones, enjoy some popcorn, watch the film, laugh, cry, however you enjoy your films, then come back here, listen to this episode, geek out alongside us, and enjoy. Good? Yes? Reached an understanding? Awesome. In any case, pass Donald and pass Hannah, take it away. Ready?
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
One smell of colitas rising up through the air.
Huh.
I swear, we need to do a cover of Hotel California.
I think so. I mean, that was really all I had, was just singing the song. I wasn't really going to follow up with anything.
I mean, it was fun regardless.
Yes, absolutely.
Are we ready to dive in?
I think so, yeah.
Hit that intro!
Wow. He really hit that intro today.
Well, I mean, we haven't done that in a while, so might as well go for broke.
Yep, we've been gone for a while, been busy.
Indeed.
I just closed my show.
You closed your show. I had personal stuff to attend to, which I got it all settled, guys. Thank you for, thanks for reaching out to us. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's talk about what we're going to talk about.
Should we do a drum roll?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, all you wonderful people listening? Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast.
Woo!
This is the podcast, of course, where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regrets.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
As always, I am your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, and streamer by night, Donald Kaczynski, back once again with the purveyor of all things dystopia-related, dice slinger extraordinaire, artiste magnificence, and of course our resident video game inept, I remembered this time, Hannah Kubiak!
Hello. It is I, the video game inept, and other things. But that's the title I'm most proud of.
And carry that title, she does. Have you seen our Mario Party playthrough?
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Yes.
I look back on the moment where you complete the pushy penguins minigame every time.
Oh my gosh.
It's so fun.
Oh my gosh. That was the funnest one. Alright.
So y'all are probably confused why we were singing the beginning lyrics of Hotel California.
Yeah, I'm still confused, honestly.
You will not understand until you actually watch this movie. Actually, as we were recording, we just came back from the movie theaters.
Yep, just came here, sat down in front of the microphone, and here we are.
Indeed. And we just got done watching the latest release by Marvel Studios, the 25th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh yeah.
And
not to be confused with the Legend of the Five Rings.
Indeed.
Which is a like living card game.
Oh god, it is.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Pretty cool. It's very complicated. I don't think I've ever actually finished playing a game. But anyway.
So, we just got done watching Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, like, literally, like, half an hour ago, at the time of recording this. And I'm not gonna lie, this is... I'm highly considering redoing my entire top 10 of favorite Marvel films.
Top 10, really? Cool.
I think it's right up there.
It was pretty good. It was entertaining, that's for sure. And I liked the I enjoyed the characters, which is a big deal. You gotta like the characters, and that's really what was most important to me. The sort of like action sequences and stuff. It was a Marvel movie action sequences. You know,
This
the
one
cool the stuff with the the stuff with the weapons were interesting. Like the rings were weapons, and then that
oh my god, yes.
that like sort of dragon scale morning star that What was his sister's name? Zhu
Zhu
Zhan, yeah, Zhu Zhan. Yeah, her weapon was really cool.
Did you want to throw the tea bag?
Oh yes, please.
Sorry, we're drinking some tea at the moment. We just don't want the bags to steep too long.
Yep.
Caffeinated tea will do that. If it's not herbal, don't let it steep too long.
Yep.
Your advice from Coffee Ninja for a day. I'm a Coffee Ninja talking about tea. What is wrong with me?
Oh, but yeah. So should we just sort of say what the premise of Shang-Chi is?
Yeah, let's. So basically, we get a bit of an over. I compare the beginning of the film similar to how Black Panther did theirs by basically outlining past history in relation to this personal story.
Right.
Like in Black Panther, they were talking about like how Wakanda was founded by the 5 tribes, and the falling of the meteorite that contained vibranium, which caused them to have an advanced culture. In Shang-Chi, we get the legend of an ancient general who basically, with the power of these ancient 10 rings, basically was able to live forever.
Yep, it grants you immortality, and you're super powerful, like the strength of a god, basically.
Yep.
And so he basically, for like 1,000 years, went around conquering nations and everything, until he met his match in the the sort of magical kingdom of what was the name of the town again?
I'm bringing up the entire plot right now, just because I know there was a couple of things that we probably missed. So in 1996, after 1,000 years, he was searching for the village of Talo. Which is basically like a village that exists in a different dimension.
Yep.
That's cut off from the world, and the only way to access it is by traversing this forest that basically devours you like a maze.
Yep.
Think of it like a bamboo version of the maze task from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
That's basically the best way.
Yep.
That's basically what went through my mind. In the back of my mind, I really wanted to say during it, I'm like, oh, this forest is made of devil's snare.
Yep. Well, we got our reference to Ents in there anyhow.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I literally said, Treebeard? Is that you?
No, it's Bamboo Beard. It was great. But yeah, that was cool. And so the whole premise basically is that these two, one you think at first, Shang-Chi, who is going by the name Sean.
He is the son of both the leader of the 10 Rings, who is named Wenwu, who in this universe of the MCU is the original Mandarin.
Right.
I'll talk more about that as we get further on, but this actually plays into like a large part of like the early history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, see, that went completely over my head.
We'll go into more details on that.
You were freaking out about it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that an actual historical figure?"
I was freaking out during that entire. I was freaking out during that entire thing because I'm like, "Oh my god, they're tying up this huge plot hole."
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah.
And so basically, the mother gets assassinated by a rival gang that wanted revenge for everything that Wenwu did.
And she came from Talo.
Mm-hmm. And basically, her and Wenwu wed. He basically gave up.
Her and Wenwu wed.
They became married.
They wedded.
They had 2 children.
Did she wed Wenwu?
Okay, enough of the tongue twisters.
What?
God dang it.
Why would we...
Stop.
Okay.
Just stop.
Okay.
I know you're pushing it. You're really trying, but please stop. I don't know if I can take another one.
Okay.
Good attempts, though. Good attempts. I will give you that.
Okay.
So basically, they get married. Mm-hmm. She basically forsakes her power in Talo.
Mm-hmm.
And,
which was kind of like a sort of... It was kind of like airbending almost. Like
we made so many jokes in talking to each other throughout this. Well, we were also enjoying the film, but we were also they are just basically multi-benders. Mm-hmm. There's firebending. There's waterbending. Oh my god, there's airbending and earthbending.
Yep. Yeah. So this great general meets his match in this woman from Talo, who then yes, the unlikely romance begins, and they have 2 kids. And she was exiled from Talo,
and he gave up his immortality to he put away the 10 rings because he found a purpose. Like he changed.
Yeah, it's like I found something to grow old for.
Yeah, he found something to not only live for and be proud of, but to basically, like you said, grow old for.
Yeah.
But then his past caught up to him, and she was assassinated.
Yeah.
Right in front of Shang-Chi's eyes.
Which is hate that.
Yeah, that was oof.
And yeah, I know. And then I'll save it for later. But just okay.
The past is revealed to us in flashback sequences at really key points throughout the film, which did not slow the film down and actually enhanced it. It was actual flashback storytelling done right.
Oh yeah.
And so basically, his dad decides to take up the 10 rings again and reform the organization to try to avenge his wife's death. He sends Shang, who he's trained for several years, at the age of 14, to go out and kill the leader. Shang
never comes back.
And Shang never comes back.
Yeah.
We find out that he did it. It's never shown how he did it. But he admits that he did it, and he hid for 10 years in Shang. And left his sister behind because he could not live with himself.
And so the basically the inciting incident of this movie is when they think assassins, but they're just I guess like the mobsters basically, who were sent by his father, come and they attack him on a bus, and then he gets away with his life.
But he loses the pendant that his mom gave him.
Yeah, and he deduces that they are after his sister also, and so he goes and gets her, and then
in an underground
together they go and try and confront their dad and figure out what's going on.
And I must say, oh my god, the moment that they find her in an underground fight ring, the fact that we get Best Man Wong.
I was stoked that he was in it. I love that.
We love Wong. Wong is best husbando. He is top tier waifu. We love Wong. I will absolutely take more Wong.
Yeah. And let's see. So they team up and they confront their father, who basically says that in Talo there is a gate that their dead mother is being imprisoned behind, and they need to go and set her free. And if the people in Talo won't let him to the gate, he'll just destroy the whole town. So
because through the power of the rings, he's being manipulated.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Too much power, and people start to demonic forces start to get a hold of your brain.
Indeed. And his heart. It's basically his heart being manipulated, and he has no way of knowing. And so we eventually, with the help of Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley returning from Iron Man 3. I was not expecting this to happen. This is one of the big plot holes that they tied up. Okay,
he was in something else. He was in
Iron Man 3.
And that character? As that character?
As that character,
okay,
yes.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, let's wrap up the plot of Shang-Chi first, and I'll explain
So,
everything.
So Shang and his sister
Jiangling.
They, along with Sean's friend Katie, they go to...
Oh my god, Katie's the best.
Oh, she was so good.
She is such a queen, and I love her.
They go to Talo, and I'm butchering all of these Chinese names, but anyway, they go to Talo. They get there ahead of their dad, and there's an epic face-off where the citizens of Talo are defending the gate, and Wang Wu is trying to get to the gate
in order to free his wife. But I have to say, the moment that Shang-Chi catches up to him and he's basically paying respects to her at his wife's memorial. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that they basically humanize him, because this is basically like a personal demon.
Well, yeah,
it's a very personal story.
Yeah, because you can't really. Yeah, it's hard to think of him. Whoops.
Because in the context, like, Wen Wu, the Mandarin, he is a bad guy. Like, from what we've seen in the past, like, he was basically a warlord.
Yeah. And it's once you figure out what he's trying to do exactly, even though he's going to burn down this entire city to get to the gate and everything, you kind of you understand him. You kind of feel bad for him in a way, because you're like, because you know he's being manipulated.
We've all been through that stage of grief where it's like, what could I do to bring a person back?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I'll go on a little personal thing on this. Like I said, for those of you that have not paid attention to my personal stuff, I recently lost my grandfather. Very recently. So this moment kind of hit really hard, because it does bring that back into my mind. Like, whenever someone you love dearly passes, and you start to think in your mind, what could I have done? What can I do? And even though years and years have passed, like, basically almost 2 decades, his children have grown up. They demonized their father, but he is driven by this desire to see his wife again.
Yeah. And the thing that I found really, really impactful about this movie was, well, I mean, you can probably guess, I love stories about families.
I know.
Messed up families. And the whole family element was just great to me. Just the sort of, they all have their personal shit that they're having to deal with, and like, they lost their mom, and then their dad wasn't there for them the way he should have been.
Which Shang outright says.
Yeah, he does. He says like she was gone and we needed you, but you chose the damn rings over us, basically.
Yeah.
So, because when Wang Wu lost his wife, he put the rings back on and went on a revenge tear, and for some reason brought his 7-year-old son with him to a gambling den where he beat the living shit out of a bunch of people.
I have to say, the entire cinematography of that entire scene, where it's basically just a round pan shot.
It was pretty cool.
Of just seeing, like, young Shang's face and the reflection in the mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh my
that
god.
Was cool. It was almost kind of a whenever you see mirrors in a movie, like, pay attention. It usually means something. But yeah, and just that whole thing, and then in trying to get his wife back, he kind of reverted back to the warlord that he was before he met her, and Shang says that to him as well, like and in the middle of one of their confrontations, which basically turns into a beatdown.
Absolutely beatdown.
He like Shang says to his dad, he's like, "You're doing all this stuff to try and get her back, and if you did, she wouldn't want to have anything to do with you." And that causes him. And then his dad punches him in the gut with 5 of the rings and sends him catapulting into the water.
That was really cool.
That was dope. And yeah,
he gets to the gate and starts to unlock it, and like all hell breaks loose. These soul-sucking monsters start getting
that's
released.
What's actually behind the gate. Spoiler.
Yeah, and and he doesn't understand that he's doing it. He's just driven by like his desire to just see her again.
Yeah.
Shang eventually comes back and is able to fight him again. He gains control of the power of the rings.
It's
and
it's pretty awesome. That was probably one of my favorite sequences.
He goes into full-on Son Goku Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha mode, ready to unleash these rings upon his father's ass.
And stop right there. I don't want us to give like all the spoilers, do we?
Fair.
We don't want to know what happens after that. Like, as he gets control of the rings, and what does he do? Who knows?
That's true. That's very true.
But that was such a cool sequence, though. And I love how
the entire end sequence, like, it does kind of feel like a Deus Ex Machina with this, like, because we get told through the events of the film that there's this dark being that's able to, that's being sealed, and if it's released, bad shit happens.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a cop-out, because it ends up being basically it's the end result of every bad thing that's happened, like the consequences of your actions.
Right.
It doesn't like overshadow like certain events of like stuff that characters did. Kind of like almost like how Dormammu was for Doctor Strange.
Right.
'Cause I felt like Dormammu could have done so much more.
Yeah.
That's my only gripe with that film.
I've come to bargain.
Although that is so cool.
Let's talk about all the martial arts. You looked up what kind of martial arts they used in this, right?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Kung Fu, obviously.
So for those not in the know, do you mind if I share this about you?
Me? Yeah, sure.
Hannah actually does practice martial art.
Yes.
Which one do you practice again?
Jiu-jitsu.
All right. So you do.
I'm a baby white belt. So cute.
And I remember you kept asking during the film, like, what kind of martial arts are they doing? Because they've been using a majority of different martial arts in Kung Fu.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is more of a, like, ground grappling martial art, so I wasn't actually expecting it to show up.
Right. So I found an entire list of what we saw.
Yeah,
comes...
I didn't see anything that looked familiar. The only thing that looked like part of a jiu-jitsu move I know is that one that the mother does at the beginning, where she's like behind him and she's got like control of his arm and she's like steering him. Mm-hmm. That looked similar to jiu-jitsu to me. There's a move like that where you basically keep the person from being able to turn around and attack you. But yeah, there was mostly like kung fu. What was it? Shojin? Was it Shojin?
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so I have the entire list in front of me. This list comes from ScreenRant.com. So so from Shaolin style kung fu.
Shaolin. Mm-hmm.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Which definitely is basically like an avoid contact kind of move. That's basically
That's what his mom and
that's what his mom and his aunt were using.
So the Talo people use that because they're like, Wenwu's style was a little bit more aggressive and like Earthbender, right? That's one of the other ones. Foga.
Hold on.
Foga?
Hunga,
yeah, it was more, like more aggressive, like fists and stuff, and like just more beating the shit out of somebody as opposed to like redirecting their energy and tiring them out, which is what I would assume from watching the Talo people at work was what was the Tai Chi.
This one was my favorite. Bakwazang, which translates to 8 trigram palms.
8 what?
8 trigram palm.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar. What is the sort of...
It involves circular footwork and open-handed technique. So basically the stance that him and his mom start up with in those specific scenes.
Like the little like trace of footwork. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And funny thing is, 8 trigram palm is actually a technique that is used in the anime Naruto.
Oh.
It's the art that's it's the taijutsu art that's trained by the Hyuga clan.
Okay. Yeah, and so the really cool thing that I liked about all of the martial arts and stuff is that even though I am by no means an aficionado of martial arts. I like literally just started studying jiu-jitsu like a couple of months ago. Like you could tell the difference between like the two sides of the family. And there was that cool thing that his aunt said to him when he was like, teach me how to beat him. Like teach me how to beat my dad the way my mom did. And his aunt said something like, you are the legacy of our family. You're the good and the bad.
Implying both his mother and his father.
Yeah, like everything is in there, you know. And I love that sort of theme of family and like inheritance, where like you inherit good and bad things from your parents. You're like a mixture of everything, and they would hope that you become the good parts of both of them, you know.
Right.
So when he's a little boy, Sean is like working with his mom, who's teaching him like little stuff she knew from Talo. Like,
the flowing movements.
Sweeping, flowing movements, those things. And then when she dies, and his dad takes over and starts to teach him his stuff, and it all involves there's no more
mercy,
there's no more of that smooth, peaceful, calming movements. It's more like he literally has his son punching a post until his knuckles were bloody.
No mercy.
And like, you know, standing outside in the cold, while people hit you with bamboo rods and stuff, just to make you, you know, tough, and, you know, like a brick wall, basically. And so these two martial arts, like,
it's basically like the Cobra. It's basically like Cobra Kai, no mercy.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. Yeah, and so there's sort of his journey from the assassin that his dad taught him to be, kind of back into that
harmony,
the peaceful, like gentle art that his mom taught him when he was a little kid. And through that journey, he gets a little bit like, it's closer to his sister. They start working together again, and this time he there's one point in the movie where she's hanging off of this like precipice or whatever, and he's holding on to her, and she's like, you have to let me go because you have to go and stop a really bad thing from happening.
And he's like, not again.
He's like, I'm not leaving you again. And they're just like, useless. And
family.
Yeah.
Love it.
So just the mirroring this character's sort of emotional and spiritual journey through the evolution of the martial arts that he uses is really cool to me.
Right. Hold on, I'm just grabbing something.
Are you grabbing the hand pies?
Oh yeah, I forgot to.
Yes, what kind do we have today?
Alright. For those not aware, I grabbed myself and Hannah some pies from my job. Chocolate hazelnut.
Ooh.
So more of a sweet one.
Okay. Sweet pie.
Yeah. So if you hear us snacking, we apologize.
I do not apologize for my snacking.
That's true.
But
So for those of you, it's snack break time. So go take a snack break and join us back here if you are done with your snack, or if you just want to continue on while you hear us eat. So.
A few pies later.
She's getting on.
Are we just gonna eat, pause and eat, or are we gonna?
I can talk a little bit while you eat.
Awesome. Yeah.
So
say your thoughts. I told you my.
So we won't spoil the ending for you guys that haven't seen it yet. It's a very explosive and very thematic, and just it feels like a complete ending, like a real good ending.
You're not kidding. It was explosive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It leads off in a very interesting future for MCU. Parts of what I like about the film is that it actually addresses a lot of plot holes that are in the MCU's past. Now, Hannah can attest to this. There were several parts, like in the middle of the film, like the beginning half to like the middle, where I exploded. I'm like, oh my god, they're actually addressing this. There were three main points for me. First, when they were in the fight club to find his sister, we see Best Man Wong fighting a foe that actually has not been seen in the MCU since Incredible Hulk.
Oh my god.
That is Emil Blonsky, I believe his last name is, aka Abomination.
Okay.
Who I actually double checked, uncredited, Tim Roth voiced him again. Which I'm like, oh my god, that's so awesome. Because I was looking at because again, Incredible Hulk is like one of the most easily like looked over films in all of MCU.
I don't think I've even actually seen it. That was the Edward Norton one, right?
Yeah, that was the Edward Norton one. Most easily looked over. But I saw the CGI and I'm like, it looked weird at first because we easily identified that it was Wong at first.
Yeah.
But we were both excited at that, and then I realized who it was, and I'm like, oh my god. And then Wong talked to him later and addressed him as Blonsky. I'm like, oh my god, that is! A lot of us have been wondering what the heck happened to him after Incredible Hulk. I guess he's into underground fights on the dark web.
Yep. That's what everybody does when they fall out of the Marvel Universe for a while.
Which makes me question, Wong, what the hell are you doing in underground fights?
Maybe he was in the fighting ring at Jeff Goldblum's planet for a while.
What, was basically trolling kids and aliens in Call of Duty not good enough for you? Like, since Endgame, you gotta resort to underground fighting?
Yep.
Is this how you get your thrills, Wong?
Yep.
If so, yo, homie, can we join? Can we join, my dude?
I was so excited. I was so excited that he showed up.
Me too. Wong is such a great character. I love the portrayal of Wong in these films.
So that's
one.
That's instant number one. Okay, cool.
Second comes to the dinner scene. Pie stuck in my throat. Sorry about that.
Hi.
So the second one comes when they have the dinner scene with his dad when they first meet up with him again. He mentions the story of the Mandarin. Now the Mandarin is a character that was introduced in Iron Man 3 as a terrorist figure that basically was up against like the United States, and Tony Stark was the one that called him out.
Okay.
However, it ended up being one of the biggest surprise villain things that happened. Basically, the Mandarin that they thought was the Mandarin was basically an actor named Trevor Slattery that was basically on hire from the true villain of the film, which wasn't actually the Mandarin. And that left a lot of people really sour for a very, very long time. There was a little short for the MCU where Trevor was basically kidnapped by the true Mandarin, but we never got a plot thread that basically closed that until now.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a really long time to wait for a payback. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think it was ever going to happen, and then I heard him quoting Mackers. And I'm like. And I'm like, wait, is that Ben Kingsley? No! Hannah can I said that so loud.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the other two people in the theater with us heard too.
We basically had an empty theater to ourselves.
Yeah, there were two people behind us, but...
I was freaking out in my seat. I was trying so...
I thought you just really loved Ben Kingsley.
I love Ben Kingsley too, but I'm like, oh my god, they're doing this. They're actually doing this! So... that was like a huge plot hole, that never got resolved, in MCU for the longest time. But also, the concept of the Ten Rings has been in the MCU as far back as the first Iron Man.
What?
So, the group that kidnapped Tony Stark in the first Iron Man was the Ten Rings.
Yeah?
And so, we found out in this film that, at the time, I believe his dad was not particularly in charge of the Ten Rings because he was basically unifying everything again.
Uh-huh.
Because as we find out in the film, this film takes place in 2024, 5 years after Endgame.
Uh-huh.
We find out it takes place after Endgame because of post-credits stuff. We won't dive too much into details because they really didn't give us too much information to work with, so we don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually excited about.
Mm-hmm.
But, so basically that's when the Ten Rings were first introduced.
Mm-hmm.
They were mentioned on and off again throughout the MCU. Like, they popped up in places like when they were mentioned Ant-Man alongside Hydra being buyers of, like, the Pym particle technology.
Right.
But they weren't really addressed as much then. But this film basically confirmed that there were basically different cells that acted independently and basically followed, like, the original Mandarin, who we find out in this film was Wenwu. Now, I don't think this is the exact portrayal of the Mandarin from the comics, but again, it's an adaptation. We'll take what we can get, and honestly, I was satisfied.
Yeah.
I was satisfied with this performance.
Yeah. So, that was your three?
Yeah, those three main things.
Yeah.
Were, like, the biggest, like, untied plot threads from, like, the original, like, early phases.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about it.
Awesome.
I on the car ride back, like, I was just trying to keep my mouth shut because I'm like, I really want to say this. Oh my god, I don't know if I can wait till we record.
But you did. Good job.
I did my best.
And something that I want to talk about is, of course, we got to talk about characters since I'm here.
Let's talk about the characters and the actors.
I really loved the friendship between Sean and Katie, because they were just hilarious. I loved.
That can possibly turn into possible flirting or continued friendship. It doesn't really matter.
No, yeah, I actually prefer it being platonic. I feel like we need more platonic friendships in shows and stuff, and, like,
I can agree.
So yeah, because I didn't really see any, like, romantic chemistry between them, but, like, the best friend chemistry was there, definitely. Like,
oh yeah.
And just they're these two goofballs who were at school together, and now they have, like, they are valets at this random hotel, and
that they go off joyriding, like, joyriding the cars.
They go off joyriding the cars
and singing karaoke and late night.
Yeah, I loved it because they were.
Well, their friend from college basically has gone on to have, like, a successful life and grew up.
Yeah, I was reminded of myself.
Who needs to grow up?
Who needs to grow up? Yeah. Oh man, I've been wanting to do karaoke for a long time.
Oh my god, yeah. There's really no places in Milwaukee I found.
Yeah. There's a couple places I know of. But yeah, I loved the like joking around, the cheerfulness, the humor with the two of them, and just how this guy Sean is like he was an assassin when he was a kid, and if you see, like, his background and stuff, and just like what he went through and what he sort of became, and you sort of almost can't believe it's the same person, because, like, a lot of the time when you have those kind of characters who they're like, I've got a dark past, and it's all dark, and they become kind of emo, you know? But he wasn't like that. He was like he was pretty cheerful, and, like, he was pretty cheerful. He was, like, he had a sense of humor. He was a good friend. He, like, hung out with people, did, like, karaoke, went to dinner with Katie and their friends and stuff. And just, like,
they're successful friends.
Yeah, and, like, he just became, like, just a good decent, kind of sweet guy. And which is why when these people attack him on the bus and he just starts busting out these moves, it's like totally shocking. It's
Can
like,
we talk about that bus fight
like,
scene?
Oh my
god.
I was like, oh my gosh, this mild-mannered little guy is just, just a total badass, and it's like there's just all this shock about it and stuff, and it's like Katie didn't know anything about it. She was like, does he look like he could? You've got the wrong guy. Do you think does he look like he could fight? And then he starts like,
boom!
It was so cool. Yeah, and
that might be one, in my opinion, possibly one of the best choreographed fight scenes in MCU.
It was so good, and yeah, I just love that.
I want to know how much of that was actual stunt acting. Like, I need to know.
Yeah.
I desperately need to know. Because, let's be honest, this is a kung fu movie, like, throughout.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good definition of a modern kung fu film.
Yeah. And, yeah, so long story short, I loved the character of Sean. I loved that he wasn't, like, there was definitely like rage and pain in there, but it wasn't like there were layers to him.
There was baggage.
There was a lot of baggage, but it was really well hidden. Kind of like, okay.
It's kind of like when you have trauma and you bury it like very deep down.
It reminded me of Spike from Cowboy Bebop, actually.
Yeah,
where
I can see that.
You see, like, it's like, oh, it's just this fun romp, and he's like really good at fighting, but it's kind of like a joke to him, and it's silly and stuff. And then all of a sudden, you get to
when stuff with the Red Dragon Syndicate with
and then
Ballad of Fallen Angels.
And then all of a sudden, you get to Ballad of the Fallen Angels, and he's just like,
all right, time to double down.
Yeah, and he's just like so serious, charging into this place and just like shooting it up, and just the happy-go-lucky, like bouncy, fun bounty hunter guy is gone,
It's serious mode.
And it's serious mode all of a sudden, and just like the rage that goes into that character when anytime he even gets a whiff of vicious around anywhere. Like, gosh, yeah. So, it reminded me of Spike from Cowboy Bebop a little bit.
I can definitely see that.
Where you're like, it's the funny ones you gotta look out for. The funny people are the most tortured inside.
Yeah, I haven't really seen, like, many stuff like the Shang-Chi's voice actor has been in. I have to say, major props.
Yeah.
Holy.
He was awesome.
Might be one of the best protagonists I think we've had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
what's the actor's name?
Simu Liu. Simu Liu. Liu.
Simu Liu. Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, there was. Yeah, the character, because when you're in like a superhero movie basically, and you're like kicking ass all day, it's hard to sort of balance that with like vulnerability and kindness, and and he's got a little bit of derpiness to him as well.
Like he is a goofball. He's a self-admitted goofball at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, that's
like when he talked to Katie after the fight with his sister. He's like, "Did you bet against me?
You bet against me?" And she's like, "Yeah, maybe." Which that was great, and yeah. So, yeah, good job, Simu.
Simu. S-I-M-U. All right.
Yeah, it was just awesome. Okay, enough of my gushing about.
Let's stop beating around the bush. We need to talk about the true comedic highlight of this film. Possibly one of the best comedic highlights in the heart and soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Awkwafina killed it as Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
She was so good. It's hilarious.
Her comedic timing was perfect without overshadowing the serious moments.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much a fish out of water situation, because she is more American than traditional Chinese, in this sense.
Like
in
when
this
they
universe.
when they went to Wenwu's compound, he called her American Girl.
I was like, oh, like, it's true, though.
Yeah. I'm just like... But... Yeah. She was a funny character, and I just... You need to have that in a, And she was like a sort of like a one of those tag-along friend characters, but she really learned how to come into her own, and she wasn't just... Like, in the beginning of the... Like, when they were on the scaffolding outside the fighting ring and everything.
Oh my god,
to escape.
When she was trying to confuse the Ten Ring Soldier on a dark desert highway.
Yeah, and that was confusing, definitely.
For those that don't know, like, there's literally a moment in the film where they address like a situation with that. Definitely.
Well, yeah, she like.
They basically met by her basically standing up for Shang Bully by shouting out the beginning lyrics of.
Yeah, they started singing
Hotel California.
Which gives you just enough of a distraction and a confusion, just enough of an edge to buy you a couple seconds, basically, is what it means.
Against a dumb school bully? Yes.
Yeah.
Trained professional assassin?
Maybe
not so
only
much.
Slightly less effective, I think. Probably also didn't really help that the assassin... Well, no, wait. I was going to say maybe the assassin didn't speak English, but there were English. There were English speakers all among those.
I mean, they're trained in multiple languages, like they showed in like Shang's background. Like they can work.
Yeah. Made me want to learn languages too.
But the time in Talo really helped her.
Oh yeah, and like there were just like that random woman who basically took her under her wing and taught her how to shoot and like stood up for her and
beautiful.
Like sort of pushed
all are equal in Talo.
Yeah, sort of pushed her to be a warrior and pushed her to do what she like stick with something basically. She was like talking about how I just do random things and never actually get very good at any of them.
If you aim
at nothing,
then you will not hit anything.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, that was cool.
Ancient Chinese proverb.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And yeah, I liked that her character. It was a comedic character, but she had some depth and some development as well, which was good.
I do love comedic characters with depth.
Yeah.
Although random comedic character, we save that for Ben Kingsley, which honestly, like
random comedic character.
Him and Morris were good. It's
Yep.
okay. It's okay, mate. I'm just playing dead. If you want to survive, you'll do the same.
Yep.
He made lifelong friends with a creature from another world. I love it.
Yeah.
This cuddly little chicken frog thing.
Yeah. I don't know what it was supposed to be. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what it was supposed to be.
It looked like a tribble with wings.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it did.
Oof.
And then we got to talk about we talked plenty about the dad. There's really nothing to really go over with the mom, but we do have to talk about the sister. We have to talk about Xialing.
Xialing. Okay.
So she basically escaped from the Ten Rings on her own and founded her own fight club.
Yep.
Because she basically wanted to do shit on her own and be
Sean left her behind.
And Sean left her behind. And she
Also,
basically found out how to fend for herself.
For some reason, that really irked me, that their dad didn't let her train, which might have been good for her because he didn't like do what he did to Sean, where he like had to do all that like brutal training and stuff, like punching a post and everything.
Well, but
still,
it's a very traditional kind of like mindset because
Yeah.
they don't outright address it, but it is addressed like the traditional mindset of like men fight, women no fight. Like that's a traditionalist mindset. That's really dumbing it down because I don't know too much about how a traditional Chinese household like at any point works. Like we're not gonna draw any kind of jump to any conclusions. Yeah. But just based on what we've seen that they actually kind of touch on that a little bit with Katie's family too at the beginning.
Oh yeah, where they're
when they're saying we did not move here we did not move to America from here just so you could basically
just so you could be a
chauffeur cars.
Just so you could be a chauffeur. Yeah.
I love the little moment that Shang has with Katie's grandma when she asks when are you two getting married, and he's like, we're just really good friends, which honestly does play into that platonic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah, like I bought the platonic relationship, and I feel like it was one of those friendships where if you tried to make it a romantic thing, it would kind of ruin it almost.
I mean, they can absolutely go in that route, but I do not mind them going platonic. I'm glad, like they share a moment together, just leaning on each other's like heads and everything like
and
that.
Even that seemed platonic to me.
Yeah,
like,
that's a very platonic thing to do.
Yeah,
they'd
been through a lot.
A kiss was not done. If a kiss was not done, then platonic is still in place.
Yep.
Romance doesn't always have to equate to closeness.
Yep. I'm one of those weirdos who I'm always like, yeah, just be friends. Oh no. You know? Oh, because I feel like there aren't very many in movies. There aren't very many like just plain old friendships. Like friendship is really like fellowship even.
Yeah.
Is really, I feel like it's kind of undervalued these days, and I feel like it's just as important as a romantic relationship. And fellowship is less exclusive as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, you can have a group of close friends, whereas, like, in a typical romantic relationship, there's only two of you, and it can kind of be like, it's just us, and it's kind of more jealously guarded than just like a really close friendship. And that's just something that I think it's a really hard relationship to keep balanced, kind of, but it's totally
platonically between like male and female.
Yeah, because it's like, but it's. Or just anybody, like friendship is a lot stronger than I feel like a lot of people know.
It really does, and there's a lot of moments where that's really tested. Like it was tested like when after the bus fight happens, like we see like she is ready to just unload on him, but he keeps being secretive because he's trying to basically keep her at a distance, like, you do not want to know this. Please, I am trying to protect you. And she's like, nope, I'm coming in, fam.
Yeah.
Through thick or thin.
Yeah, and that was probably one of my favorite scenes was when he finally tells her that he went through with the assassination that his dad sent him on.
It was like an admittance to both himself, like, just to release him from, like, because he didn't want to admit it.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically told her that, at first he told her that he couldn't go through with it, and then later on in the...
It's revealed that
in the movie he, like,
I like that they didn't show him do it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I liked that too. Like, you don't have to see everything. Because also, you didn't see his mom die, you just saw his reaction to it, which was interesting.
I liked
that too.
Showing a reaction to something can be much more powerful than showing the action itself.
Yeah.
Seeing a horrified child's face at basically watching his mother die before his eyes.
Yeah.
Leaves so much more of an emotional impact than literally seeing a bunch of men basically beat a woman to death.
Yeah. And
that sounded wrong.
Honestly, like, because like she knew and like we knew watching it that she wasn't going to survive. Especially
when all the others came in, I'm like, oh
yeah. No. And something that really irked me was, so he saw that happen, and then his dad shows up and later and finds out that she's dead and everything. And then when Sean is fighting his dad basically he almost blames him for her death a little bit. He's like, you just watched her get killed and you did nothing. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, he was 7. Where the fuck were you? You know, like.
Well, the thing is, it was a tense moment, and he was basically standing in between Shang was basically standing between him and his goal, and in the heat of the moment, you can say things that are very painful that you did not mean to say in that context.
Yeah, I don't...
It still shows that he still loves his children. He still does. But he's so clouded by this sure judgment. It just... Like this delusion.
It just sort of showed... It showed kind of just,
how far the madness went.
How far the madness went that he would say something like that. And I think a lot of it... Like just throwing that blame onto his son in that moment was kind of like, like hiding from his own guilt almost. Because the mobsters came to their house because of him, and he wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of been in that situation where your parent... for whatever reason, says something to you where it becomes apparent that they expected you to behave like the adult even though you were a child.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing that serious, but I know what that's like when a parent blames you for something that happened when you were young, and you're like, well, I was a child. And you were an adult, so what's your excuse?
Those arguments do tend to come up sometimes. And those ones really hurt.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Especially, but one thing that I did like after he sent Shang just boom down the water and everything like that, before he goes to open the gate, I love film when they take time for small moments that can just last a few seconds for facial expressions. You can see in Wenwu's reactions, just he's like, you made me do this, oh my god, I can't believe I did this to my son, but I had to do it for my wife before he's called to the gate. It's a complex emotion. It's like he doesn't know what to feel because it's in the heat of the moment. You can tell he still cares, but basically what he did was basically a reaction out of it was like a basic gut instinct reaction.
Yeah.
And I have to say, again, props all around to the entire cast. I will never get tired of this. I'm probably gonna rewatch it again once it gets released. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it in theaters again, but I will absolutely rewatch it all when it's released on home video and possibly on Disney Plus. So this film gets a high recommendation for me.
Yeah, it was great. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about.
We could touch on a few small things.
Okay.
Visually, the film looks stunning.
It was pretty cool. I loved it.
Very vibrant color, both in terms of just overall artistic beauty, but also when they were in Macau, just the vibrant underground hip hop aesthetic.
Yeah, with the graffiti everywhere.
Graffiti, bright neon,
Yeah, loved that.
I have grown to love hip hop and rap over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And really listen to just overall beats and just trying to understand what makes the culture. I love the vibrant style in this. It was so apparent.
Yeah.
So, Trebian. Trebian.
Yeah.
And also wonderful musical score. Switching from modern hip hop styles to ncient Chinese instrumentals and just really building on them. Yeah.
I'm a little bit more familiar with Japanese culture, because when I was 8 I lived in LA right near Little Tokyo, and we actually went to a Japanese mission church for mass every Sunday.
You did mention that. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, from a really young age I've been really interested in I guess there's stuff from that region, from Asia, and I'm not knowledgeable enough to differentiate between any of them, to my shame and chagrin. But I love the aesthetic of, like, Japan, China, all that stuff. It's just really awesome to me.
Yeah, and it's really nice that a lot of people are from what I've heard, like, the film's been out for a while, and we're just now seeing it. A lot of people, a lot of my customers and coworkers at this at the coffee shop that I work at have just been talking about this film and how it's fun, vibrant, hilarious, and just... And I was going into this, like, with a little bit of grain of salt because I wanted my own judgment on it, and I walked away not disappointed at all. Like I said, this might be in my top 10. I have to double check it, but might even break my top 5.
Holy shit.
For MCU. Like, the initial reaction left that strong of an impression on me. Where it goes from here, we don't know. Like we said, Phase 4 is going through like a weird kind of rebuilding period in between everything happening on Disney Plus with all the different Marvel shows. They're starting up Hawkeye soon. They're in the middle of their What If animated series. I definitely recommend checking that out. It's so much fun. Most recent one was What If Tony Stark was saved by Killmonger. Okay. So, not going to spoil that here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're taking a lot of different, like, creative avenues and exploring, like, different parts of MCU, but also, like, the multiverse. And even during the movies, we actually got a glimpse at, like, the next film for MCU, which is Eternals. Which is going to deal with, like, the after effects of, like, the Thanos blip.
Yep.
The snap of, like, the culling of, like, half the universe, and then them coming back. It's going to deal with, like, the after effects of that.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited. I am excited to see. I always love seeing new faces. I also love the fact that I did not see any teaser for Spider-Man No Way Home. I am actively avoiding Spider-Man trailers like the plague.
Oh, yeah?
And I keep seeing memes everywhere I go, and I'm like, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
I must not be paying close enough attention. I haven't seen anything about that.
I'm in way too many circles that post way too many memes and share too many secrets. I'm not being affected. Because I don't want to spoil myself, because I've heard a lot of different things that are going to be happening for No Way Home, and I'm really excited, especially after image of, like, one specific character making an appearance, and I'm just bracing myself.
Okay.
I'm just bracing myself. I have a lot to brace myself for.
Right.
But, that's, I think, in conclusion, we can say that Shang-Chi was very enjoyable.
Oh, it was great.
Definitely worth, like, the experience. It was so fun to watch it in, like, a near empty theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was great.
There's just something about that. This is so cool.
Oh, I love it. I love going to a movie theater just in the middle of the afternoon on a weekday, because there's nobody there, and it's kind of like an introverted way to be a rebel, almost.
Yeah.
Because you're like, look at this, here I am being a rebel, and no one else is here, and that's the point. Like,
we basically went to a theater with, like, recliner seats, too. Like, so we're just kicking back with, like, drinks and, a bowl of popcorn between us. We're like, oh, my God.
And there were seat heaters. I thought I was having a senior moment at first, but it turned out that I had just bumped my seat heater, and my butt was quite warm, let me just say that.
To quote Yosemite Sam, my biscuits are burning.
Yep. I was like, I was basically just like, what is happening to me? Like, what if I could smell? Would I be smelling toast right now?
Intriguing. So, we can, any last thoughts before we close out?
No. I have voiced all of my thoughts.
Indeed. In conclusion, guys, Shang-Chi is currently still available in theaters right now. If you guys feel comfortable attending a movie in theaters again, please go check this movie out. It's a lot of fun. Just make sure you are safe and responsible, and to yourself and to those around you as well. That is going to be all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's so great to talk to you guys again. Just talking about random geeky stuff after being on hiatus for 2 weeks. We apologize again for that due to different circumstances. So, we're back, though. We're back to giving you guys all the weekly geekery that you'll love. If you guys want to stick around for that and all the good stuff that we do, make sure to follow us on all platforms where we stream our podcasts. We are on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and if you guys are don't have access to any of those services, you can check out my YouTube channel, Anime Rev Productions, for a full playlist of every single General Geekery episode from the beginning.
Yep.
That is youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions. We've been going for nearly 2 years now. Oh my god.
Holy crap, yeah.
It's going to be 2 years come October.
2 years.
And we're near
3
100.
recording spaces.
And we're near 100 episodes.
Oh man, it's awesome. We're also on Patreon, so if you want to keep this train going, you can join the Patreon at I believe our lowest tier is $3.
Yeah.
It's like the price of a coffee. We should get a coffee too.
Oh, we should
Those
definitely.
are fun because you're always like, it's just the price of a coffee. It's nothing, and then it builds up.
Indeed. Yep. It's basically for the price of a coffee. You get exclusive access to all of our posts, including episodes early before they go live every single Sunday.
Yep.
Also, we've been doing our best to try to do blog posts on there as well from different things in between. If you guys want to see a video of my exclusive MCU movie ranking, I might just do that as an exclusive for the Patreon.
That could be cool.
I've done it on stream before. I've done it on my own stream before, but I might need to redo that for the Patreon just because of like both this and Black Widow.
Yeah. I haven't seen Black Widow actually.
When we watch it together, we'll talk about it.
Sweet.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's at patreon.com/General Geekery. The link to that will be in the description of this episode.
Yes. If you want to chat with us, we're on Discord. We're like everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Yeah.
We have a Discord. We
Yeah.
have a Discord server. Come chat with us and just talk with us about previous episodes, any geek stuff intriguing you, upcoming movies, everything in between. Or if you just want to post some memes, we have a channel for that too.
Yep. I send memes every once in a while.
We love shit posting memes.
Like little YouTube videos.
We love it.
A YouTube video of Saruman and Wormtongue talking about the army great enough to breach the wall of Helm's Deep. Be like, oh, my lord, there is no such force. And then it's just a bunch of ducks walking down a highway. And
that was funny.
They fill the highway from
that
edge
was
to
so
edge.
funny.
So many ducks.
I was dying of laughter.
Yeah.
I was
man.
not ready for that.
Yes, the ducks are bred for a single purpose, to destroy the world of men.
There will be no dawn for man.
There will be no dawn for man, but for ducks, there will be all the dawns.
And all the bread.
And all the bread.
And if you guys want to follow us on social media, we are at Gen Geek Podcast on Facebook and Twitter, and General Geekery on Instagram. Definitely go follow us on there. I'm probably going to post up the pics I took for Instagram tonight just to hype up the episode for this weekend.
We gotta abbreviate our, here's where you can find us.
Yeah, well...
Maybe next time we'll just say, you can find us in all of these places. The links are below.
Yeah, well...
If you really care, take a look.
we do need to abbreviate that.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Anyway, Hannah, where can we find you?
Well, first of all, you can find me on Instagram at PythianLegume. You can also find me on the other podcast that I do with my mom. It's called SPLANCHNIC, where we talk about culture, art, and tabletop gaming from the perspective of 2 different generations. I am also... you can also find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue. Shoot zombies in the head first and ask questions later. Loaded Dice is also next month rolling out a second campaign that we're doing.
I'm gonna be in it.
Yeah, on Wednesday at 7:30 Central at the same twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. It's going to be Avenaria Corsairs. So if you love pirates, show up for that one because we're going to be pirates. This one's a bard.
You're damn right I am.
I'm a blood hunter. It's gonna be amazing. I hear there's gonna be a Triton wizard.
When you see us roll a nat 20, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Yep.
We need that on a shirt.
Oh man.
We need that on a shirt with a DM Doc Brown.
Yep. I'm gonna see some serious shit. So that's going places. That is everything.
Twitch.tv Loaded Dice Adventures.
Yes.
And if you guys want to follow me, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at RyuzakiMK7. You guys can also check me out on Twitch as well at RyuzakiMK7. I play a majority of different games. A lot of them are RPG-based, but I always love interacting with my chat room. And one of the things I love doing with RPGs, I love doing on-the-spot voice acting on the side. Basically,
It's ever so fun.
basically recreating an experience as a kid when you play an RPG for the first time and you love doing voices. I love doing that for you guys. It's always a lot of fun, and I always love hearing like live critiques about my voices, whether they be serious, whether they be playful, but it's all in good fun. So head on over to twitch.tv/RyuzakiMK7 for all that good fun. And in conclusion, thank you guys so much for listening to episode 91 of the General Geekery Podcast, talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yes. It has been really nice to do like a live, just a movie reaction. Like just
right away, yeah.
Right away, like we need to do this
like
again.
I like made connections and had thoughts while we were talking here, which is hard because I'm such a scatterbrained person that I usually need to like take meticulous notes on something before I can talk about it.
Right.
That's one of the reasons, because otherwise you get a lot of and then
yeah, we were very concise and to the point for this episode. Like we did not have
at the beginning. I was
breaks.
a little bit shaky because I was nervous about mispronouncing Chinese names.
Well, don't worry, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're not used to like the different ways to pronounce them, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. But we mean the best.
I don't get annoyed when people mispronounce my shit, like Irish names. So why?
We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening again. Episode 91, talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, make sure to stay healthy, take care of yourselves. Go watch movies in theaters again if you get the chance. It's a fun experience. Always recommend it. And do not forget to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place.
Such a lovely place.
Such a lovely place. Living up at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Bye, guys. Yes, Hannah.